Hello, James from Elite. So this is Heat Pump Our Homes part 3. So how we've been getting on so far, the guys have just finished upgrading the radiators. Some was single panel radiators, so we've upgraded into doubles. Some was doubles and we've upgraded a little bit more. So like the likes of this one behind me was a 600, we've upgraded that to a 700, and the one over there in the other side of the kitchen, that was slightly smaller, we've upgraded that. You could probably go with a little bit smaller, but I really want to try and maximise my low flow temperatures. I think I want to try and get to about 40 degrees, 35, 40 degrees at -2 outside. Real well scenario is that it will be better than the heat loss designs, which we found. We always calculate our heat pumps to 45 degrees, which is a nice, good, even keel, even process between aesthetics and cost. But if you want to pay a little bit more and go a bit bigger, you can lower them flow temperatures and maximise efficiency. So along with that, they've got the rehow under the floor outside, which is fantastic. Dug really deep, got it under the floor and ready to connect to the heat pump, which is sited at the moment, and pipe work up into the loft. We've got some pipe work in the loft, some hot and colds and heating. First fix, ready for the cylinders to go in. So it will be pretty much all hands on deck on the last day, which will be the cylinder in, heat pump connected and wiring. Then I will be commissioning the heat pump and go through some settings with you guys. Just a little side note, we had put a heat pump in our other director's house, James Proctor. He's gone for a Daking and a Daking cylinder. I'll take you through that and we can sit down and see what his experience has been like as well. And a good insight into what it actually is like to have a heat pump in your own home. What we did notice, which was quite interesting, is that we installed the heat pump and the flow temperature was a little bit higher on the first month. Going back over the kind of fit and before the fit, he just moved into the house and he was using his gas boiler quite intermittently. Getting warm, the air temperature was warm and he was warm and then turning it off because he was in and out of the house and just moving in. We put the heat pump in and we believe that for the first good 2-3 weeks, it was heating the bricks and mortar, and because it was freezing cold and it was standing still for so long, so it did take a bit more to heat up. So we kind of felt like the heat pump has settled into its rhythm a bit. We did put it in like November, December, so it was, you know, at the worst conditions, but it was always been warm. He likes that 22 degrees, which is crazy, but he does. And yeah, his bills have got much better. It feels like it's got into its rhythm, but I think we feel like it was heating the mass, the bricks and the brick and the plaster and everything around him, and not just the air and bouncing back. So that was quite interesting. And that's the reason why we put a heat pump in his home, is to live with them, trial them, and get some really good feedback. Another good feedback from James Proctor was that you just want to get that customer warm straight away. So efficiencies afterwards, but wipe them flow temperatures up, get them warm, and then start scaling it down as well. So especially in the winter seasons when it's -2 outside, I'm all about efficiencies. And kind of do lose focus sometimes about just getting them nice and toasty in the first couple of days. Once we've done that, we're going to scale it down, and that's what we're going to do in my home as well. So once these guys have finished up, I'll be commissioning it with you and going through some settings. We can go through different settings. One's pure weather compensation, so no internal reference like a room thermostat and turning it on and off. We're just going to concentrate on what the temperature is outside, and that will determine the flow temperature inside. So let's say it's -2 outside, I want 40 degrees to my radiators. When it's 15 degrees outside, I might only want 25 degree flow temperature to my radiators because there's more energy outside and we don't need as much heat inside, energy inside. So it'll work along that compensation scale. And once we get that right and dialed into this property, then we won't need to adjust it and we'll be just warm at 20 degrees. And the heat pump will modulate up and down along with the outside temperatures, not turning the compressor off and really maximising efficiency. So that's one way of doing it. We're going to try out a different way of doing it within terms of the Madoka thermostat. It's got a function on there called modulation, and you have between 0 and 10 degrees. We have done little, we haven't done many jobs on this yet, so I really want to test that. It's saying that if the thermostat's struggling, it will go up to 10 degrees. So if we set at 3 or 4, it'll go up 3 or 4 degrees. And if it's doing really well, it'll actually modulate down. So I'm going to trial that on this house and see how modulation works. Altogether, I'm going to whack it right up to 10 and see what happens to the flow and return temperatures and efficiencies, and also grid consumption. So I've got a battery app, so I can look at how it's modulating and the loads going up and down. And then we're going to go on to just final room thermostat as well, and that will be the worst case scenario. It will click off and the efficiencies will drop. So it's about keeping that heat pump running as long as possible. Once we've maximised our knowledge about decking and how they run, which we do know it's pure weather compensation, and by the Madoka stat, it's really, really easy, and we'll go through that. We might have a look at the homely thermostat, and it's all encompassing solar, battery and heat pump integration, a whole house approach. But we definitely want to look at the decking controls, show you how the decking controls, how they're set up, and how you can scale it to your property and tweak efficiencies and stuff like that, and look at efficiencies. So I'm just going to take you around my home, look at what the guys have done, and yeah, look forward to part 4, which is hopefully the final fit. As you can imagine, mine is the last to do all the time because the guys are so busy. Plumber's tap is always leaking. So yeah, mine's shoehorned in, but once we get it done, we're going to be living with it. We're going to take out that gas boiler, and yeah, we're going to be net zero in terms of our production of our house. So yeah, let's go and have a look. These are a couple of radiators. So this was, as you can see it, go down. That was a double, but it was only to about there. So we've increased it, maybe heightened it a bit, and we've lowered it a little bit. So the overall height was the same, which is good. Nice. And this is a new build house. You know, you don't need these radiators as big. We have upgraded them to the maximum because we really want to test what the efficiencies we can. In here, we've just doubled that up. Get that out of the way. Doubled that up, and that was a single panel. I do believe with constant heat, 24-hour heat, pure weather compensation, not turning off on a room start, that these radiators would have been absolutely fine and you would have a really good run costs. We can upgrade them even more and get them run costs down. So it's just worth thinking about. There's no one outside now, yay! Not a very nice day. It was nice this morning. We did have some good solar gain, and the battery is full. I think I might be able to show you that. Heat pump is in, exciting. I know it's windy, I hope you can hear me. Yeah, the fan's spinning, so with the wind, so that might be on. No, the fan's spinning, so, and this is the arrangement of what used to be a bin store. So I'm hoping it is good airflow on the back, and then it's going to go down there. If we do get some recirculation microclimate in, which Adam at Heat Geek has mentioned, and a great video on there. This is plywood, this will get out of the way, we've just lent that up because there was a digger in here. We can face it this way, put a fence on there and send it into the garden, but I do want to kind of get it out of sight, but also show it off when people want to come and see it as well. So just to show you, without tipping that camera up, oh, the trunkings, there's a bit of trunking, but as you can see, there's a rehow pipe there coming up. Can I get round there? This panel's going to come out, down and out when the guys come to fit it. So we just need to connect to the antifreeze valves, and that we are ready to go. We've got a tie there. There's a soil stack all the way under the ground, so the guys can pull some cable up. And yeah, we're going up, 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 up. So really exciting. So upgraded the radiators, sighted the heat pump, and that's just going into the water table, so nice condensated, no need for a tray or anything like that. Really, really happy with that. Get some power out here, and away we go. I have got an eddy. It's like a solar iBoost as well, so I really want to maximise my cylinder battery storage. So when the battery's full, I can show you that now. When the battery's full, and it's just about to go to the grid, the moment. I've got a combi, so really excited about getting a cylinder and having a potential of storing more energy that way, and the flexibility of that. Mind the dog towels when we dry them off. We are on 100% because it's been such a good day. I'm chuffed to bits. So yeah, really exciting. We'll have solar, we'll have battery, we'll have an eddy, and we'll have a heat pump, and we can get off some fossil fuels. So nice speaking to you, and we'll see you on part 4.